So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. So guys, just a quick one. ESPN ranked Terence Crawford the best fighter in the world. They rank him the number one pound for pound fighter. Basically say he's the best fighter in the world right now. I have my opinions on this. I think Terence Crawford is an unbelievable fighter, and I think most people would say that him, Canelo, and Lomachenko were number 1, 2, and 3. Obviously, Lomachenko lost, and he's obviously goes down that list. But in my opinion, I don't know how anyone can say Terence Crawford can be number 1 over Canelo. I don't understand it. If you look at Canelo's resume, and you look at what Canelo's achieved in the game, 4-weight world champion. Yes, I know the super middleweight division wasn't a legit, he wasn't a legit champion at that weight because it was a regular belt, and he beat Rocky Fielding. But still, if you look at his resume is second to none. For me, Terence Crawford's best win on his resume, name-wise, is Amir Khan, and that was a past prime version of Amir Khan. Canelo actually beat a more in prime version of Amir Khan, so he actually beat a better version of Amir Khan as well. And that's probably Terence Crawford's best win on his resume thus far. And I don't really think Terence Crawford's resume is that good. However, I do respect the fact that he's been a undisputed champion, which Canelo hasn't been. He's also a 3-weight legitimate world champion, just like Canelo is. But I just think I don't see how you can put Crawford number 1 over Canelo just because of the resume. I think Canelo's resume is far superior. Daniel Jacobs, a more in prime Amir Khan, Cotto, Kirkland, Austin Trout was a brilliant fighter. He's fought Josecito Lopez. And he's fought many other, Shane Mosley, and he's fought all of these guys. And then, he's fought Golovkin. How can I forget Golovkin? He fought Golovkin. And Mayweather as well, but he lost that one. But how can you argue, really? I know some people will say, oh, he lost the first fight of Golovkin. Yeah, but I thought the second one he won. So, how can you really argue that, Crawford's pound for pound a better fighter than Canelo? I just don't think you can. I think Canelo's got a way better resume. I think Canelo's also achieved a lot more. Canelo's, I think Canelo's an unbelievable fighter. I think he's an unbelievable fighter, and I think I don't know why people disrespect Canelo. Maybe because of the fact that he failed a drugs test. I don't know, and maybe on that basis you could put Crawford number 1. But I don't feel Crawford in terms. I think his achievement is similar. I think they're both 3-4-weight world champion. Crawford's a 3-weight. Canelo's a legitimate 3-weight world champion, and obviously he's got a 4th belt, which is a regular belt in the 168-pound division. He hasn't won a legit, super title at 168, which I believe he will do eventually. But I just think that his resume is far superior to Crawford's. They're both brilliant fighters. They both got great skills. Crawford's unbelievable. He can fight southpaw. He's a great switch hitter. He's got unbelievable skills, Terence Crawford. I just think that Canelo's resume is far greater than Terence Crawford's resume. And that's why, for me, he would be number 1. I think ESPN, obviously, they represent Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford's probably one of their main fighters, so they're probably being a little bit biased. But I just don't think how you can have Crawford ahead of Canelo. I just don't think you can. I think Crawford's a great fighter, and I think Crawford should probably be number 2 for sure. But I think number 1 is Canelo, and I think it's by quite a distance. I think if Crawford can beat Spence, then I think I would put him number 1. I would definitely put Crawford number 1. But I just think that on his resume so far, and even with a victory over Kell Brook, I don't see how you can put him ahead of Canelo Alvarez. I think Canelo Alvarez has got too many names. Like I said, for me, Crawford's best win name-wise is Amir Khan, right? Past prime version. Canelo beat a more in prime version of Amir Khan. A more in prime version. So let's put that into context. That one guy probably best win is against a guy that was past his prime, when Canelo beat a more in prime version of that guy. I just don't see how unfortunate you could put Crawford ahead of Canelo. I just don't see it. I think Crawford's an exceptional fighter. I just think he's got a lot more to prove. I don't think Crawford's been in there with enough elite level competition for us to put him number one. He's a brilliant fighter. He deserves respect. He deserves credit for what he's achieved. Just not number one in my opinion. I think he should be a number two behind Canelo, especially now that Loma's lost. I think, all this stuff about, Errol Spence and Errol Spence fans saying that, Errol Spence doesn't deserve to be ahead of Crawford. I actually think, Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman said that Errol Spence should be down that list a little bit. I do agree with them because Errol Spence is a unified champion, great fighter. But really, if you look at what, he's done everything in one division. I don't think he's fought that many top fighters yet. Yeah, you could say he fought Porter, but Porter for me is not a great fighter. He fought Mikey Garcia, who's a lightweight. Kell Brook was coming off a devastating loss to Golovkin. So again, I still think Errol Spence has still got a lot to prove, and I think his fight is against Crawford. I favour Spence in that fight, but like I said, I think that's a fight for both of them that potentially could be put in pound for pound. If Spence wins that, you could put him pound for pound number one. If Crawford wins that, I think definitely, because I think Crawford's also done a lot in the lower weight classes as well, which Spence hasn't done. Spence has only stayed in one weight class. He's only done something in the 147 pound division. Spence hasn't done anything in the 154 or 160 yet. So until Spence moves up weight and starts winning titles in the other weight classes, I think pound for pound is how I look at it, is guys that are moving up weight classes. Because the guys that are moving up weight classes and winning titles, that's more impressive because they're not natural at that weight. Spence is a natural welterweight, so we need to see what he does at 154 and 160. Can he win world titles there? First, he's got to get past Stu Garcia, which ain't going to be no easy fight. My second part, I want to talk about Usyk Chisora. I believe Usyk Chisora is a great fight. I'm going to be buying it. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are as well. There's not a lot on the undercard that I'm looking forward to. The undercard's a bit weak, if I'm honest with you. There's not a lot. It might turn out to be great fights, but just there's not enough big names on the undercard. Chisora, Usyk, how do I see that one going? I see it like everyone else sees it, to be honest. I think it could be a good fight because it's a heavyweight division, and you never know in the heavyweight division. It only takes one punch, and it can change the course of the fight. But I do see Usyk as the superior guy here. I think Usyk is very skillful. He's very skilled. I think Chisora's tough as they come. I think Chisora's got a great chin. He punches hard. He's gonna come all night. We know Chisora's a warrior. He's definitely gonna bring it. He's definitely gonna try to make it a rough and tough fight for Alexander Usyk. But I think there's been many guys that have tried to make it rough and tough. Yes, maybe not with the physical strength and size of a Chisora. But I just think Usyk's skill level and skill will prevail. And I feel that I fancy him to win unanimous decision. I don't see him stopping Chisora. I think Chisora's too tough. And I think this fight will come down to whether Chisora can knock out Usyk. Can he land something to knock out Derek Chisora? Because if not, if the fight goes to points, I can't see Chisora winning. I think Usyk is too skilled. I think Usyk is too good. I think David Haye and Derek Chisora are trying to get Usyk to fight him. They're trying to get him to come out of his shell and have a war, because obviously if Usyk comes and has a war with Chisora, it gives Chisora more of a chance. But I don't think Usyk will do that, because I think Usyk's very intelligent. He's got a very high boxing IQ, and I think he knows deep down that that's the only chance Derek Chisora has. If I come and have a toe-to-toe with him, if I decide to stand there and fight, because Chisora is a bigger guy than Usyk. He's a big heavyweight, strong guy, and if he lands a big punch, he could hurt Usyk. He could seriously hurt Usyk. But I don't think Usyk's going to stand and trade with him. I don't think Usyk's going to stand there and fight. I think Usyk is going to box and move. And I think that's going to make it very difficult for Derek Chisora. I don't think Derek Chisora likes a guy having to box and move. Now, David Haye said today that they've been preparing for that. They've been preparing for that particular style for a very long time. So that may help. They may know what Usyk's going to do, because I can't see Usyk coming and fighting any other way. I can't see Usyk coming up and fighting and taking it to Derek Chisora, because like I said, if he does that, then he's giving Chisora more of a chance to win. I think Usyk's going to look to box how he normally boxes it, because to be honest, Derek Chisora struggles against that kind of style. He struggles against that kind of movement, that kind of speed. And I saw Gashi give Chisora trouble, and Gashi and Usyk, there's levels and levels and levels between these guys. So who knows? Chisora might be well prepared, but I just think Usyk is going to be too good and too skillful for Derek Chisora. But again, like I said, this is the heavyweight division. You can't count Derek Chisora out, because the heavyweight division, it takes one big punch and the fight changes on its head. So it wouldn't shock me if Chisora pulls it off and lands something and hurts Usyk and knocks him out. But like I said, for me, Usyk is the strong favorite, and I feel he'll win on points. I don't see him stopping. If he stops Chisora, that'll be a great statement to the heavyweight division. But I can't see it. I think Chisora's too tough. And he takes a punch. And I don't think Usyk's a big puncher at the weight either. So I can't see Usyk stopping Derek Chisora. But yeah, I think it's a great fight. It's a great. Some people think it's not pay-per-view. It's not pay-per-view worthy. I'm a hardcore fan. I'm gonna buy it regardless. But again, I think it makes for a good little scrap. I think more people want to see how Usyk is gonna fare at heavyweight, and I think it's a good test for him to see what he's gonna do at heavyweight. Because obviously, if we're talking about him fighting Tyson Fury, fighting Joshua, both those guys, Fury's already fought Chisora and beat him in good fashion, and you'd think Joshua would probably beat Chisora in good fashion as well. However, again, Chisora could land something on Joshua and hurt him, so you never know. But I still think that someone like Usyk should be dealing with Derek Chisora in good fashion in terms of outclassing him on points. But again, it's one of them where it's a heavyweight division. Anything's possible. If he lands a big bomb, it could be fight over. So it's a good fight. What do you guys make of it? Who have you guys got in the fight? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.